Everyone, today I want to show you how to integrate Snowpack with Scala.js. If you don't know what Snowpack is a bundler. It is a slightly different one. Instead of using bundling as Webpack and to bundle different libraries from Npm into a JavaScript file and a normal script file, it uses the module capability of the browser. Because the browsers now can understand directly modules. For example, you can do type module on a script, and you can read directly the imports, but only from paths and not directly from npm. What Snowpack does is to convert the npm imports into the path imports, and does all the glue code to do it. We will be using Scalablytyped, which is a Scala.js library to convert TypeScript definitions into Scala.js definitions. We will use Scala.js. I don't know if you know it, but Scala.js is I think it's a great thing. It's a JavaScript compiler for Scala, which is my language of choice. And let's go in. We have an empty folder opened in VS Code. Let's start from scratch. We have a build SBT, which is the first thing you do in Scala to create a project, with the Scala version equals to the last one, which is this one, 2.13.4. Then to enable Scala.js, we create a project/plugins.sbt, and we do add sbt plugin org.scala.js. This percentage is the artifact, and it is the Scala.js, SBT Scala.js, I guess. And then the version of Scala.js, and the last one is the 131. Okay. Oh, here I have the metals plugin that I suggest you to install for Scala. It's an IDE plugin for Scala for VS Code, and not only for VS Code, but it uses Scala FMP to format code. And to use that, we need to create a configuration file. We create the default one that has only the version. And then when I have the JSON config, if you see, I have the format on save true. So every time I save a file, it runs the formatter. So done. Okay, perfect. And now we should have the basic. We should enable plugins. Scala.js plugin. And if you open the terminal, we can do SBT 144. Actually, there's a newer version. I can pump it here and then restart SBT. We'll use the newer one that I already downloaded. It creates already this automatically this build.properties that has this SBT.version, the only thing you actually care about. And then you do compile. This compiles. You can do fast link JS. If you put this symbol here, you will rerun this every time you change a file. Now this will create inside target Scala 213, name of the project. We create a bundle. Now we don't have code yet, so that's why we don't see anything. Let's create some code. Source main, Scala, and then here you put your code. For example, main.scala, object main, def main, args array of string. This is a standard JVM main. And then we do print line hello. This now creates a bundle. Does it? Not yet, because we need to add one thing, which is Scala.js. Whatever. I can find it. Why? Because I don't have my metals installed, so I do metal import build. It will run for some time, takes quite some time actually. And then we do something that is basic tutorial is main module initializer, which means that you want it to convert the normal main function into a actual main for the JavaScript application. If we do this, then we do fast link, we know that there is a main, and hopefully, yeah, we will see a JavaScript file. Now we can run directly from SBT, and it will run using a node, but we can, to prove that it's using actually node and not the JVM, we can do node, target, Scala, Snowpack, blah, 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 main. Okay, and it works, as we can see. Perfect, first step. Second step, we do want to use node, so we npm, so we do a package.json, and we don't want all the things of the name of the project, whatever, because we don't care too much about it. We just want dependencies and dev dependencies. In the dev dependencies, okay, we have this. Now we can do npm install. Okay, it's empty. npm TypeScript, save dev. Oh, sorry, save dev. It will install only in the dev dependencies. Hopefully, yes. Okay. TypeScript and Snowpack too, the same thing. Snowpack. And now we have both of them. Now what we want is to use a JavaScript library. And I looked at there is a nice library called chartJs. Yes, exactly. And this library does charts. That's what it says. This is an example, and we see installation. Okay, installation npm. Copy this, save this, replace this. Okay, now we add this to the dependencies, the chart.js. Actually, I prefer to have this on top, not just kind of like more like this. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to create the TypeScript definition. We want to convert the TypeScript definition of chart.js into Scala.js. So what do? We use Scalablytyped, getting started without scalajs-bundler. Scalajs-bundler is a thing to use types to use Webpack, but we want to use Snowpack, so it's a little bit different. What we need is to add this enable plugins because we have a plugin here. We go to build.pt, we do enable plugins. The plugin doesn't exist, and we need to do these things to set. And we're using normal npm. And what's more, this uses process, which is a Scala thing. The tutorial doesn't mention it, but you should do scala.sys.process. And you import this process or process, whatever. Process, I think, should go to. Now, if we update, it should fail, I guess. Reload. Because we didn't have the plugin. Yeah, exactly. The plugin doesn't exist, so we have to add the plugin, actually. How to do it? There is a thing to add the plugin. Current. We copy this. We go to the plugin section. We add this. This comment, I don't care. Save. Okay. Project set. Okay, project doesn't. Because the project, I'm using the root project, so the settings are already everything which is inside the file, so it's already a setting, so I can do this because I'm using the root project. Okay, this compiles, build, compile, or better, Fastlane.js. What it does now is, oh, this library doesn't have types. Let's see if we can find on npm some types for this library. Types, chart.js, maybe? Oh, wow. So I can go here and do npm save dev types /chart.js. Okay. We installed the types of chart.js. Now, if we recompile with the link, the Scalablytype compiler will run, and this compiler will generate chart.js type definitions in Scala.js and add them as a dependency of the project. Okay, so now what's next? We need to understand how this works. And whatever, just for the getting started, just do a little chart. Okay, so this could work. Maybe there is already a. You could convert this one. You could convert this one. So what we want to do is we want, for example, what I want is a HTML file. So what I do is I will create, instead of doing in the root, I will use a public, and there is a reason for that. We will see. So we create an HTML file, standard file, HTML, whatever. No, HTML5 exactly. Document. There's no bug. And what we do is we add the script of type module, or we can actually close it. Okay. And what more? We need to do the source. We need to set the source, and we say instead of saying target, we are imagining that some server will give us this file on the root instead of doing the actual paths. And which the server we're talking about is the Snowpack server. So when we install the Snowpack, it has a dev server, and you could do npx snowpack dev, and this will run the server that doesn't have anything because we didn't set anything, and we have to configure it. So there is a snowpack.config.json or JS. You can do whatever you want. And there is an important thing we have to do. The mount is a mapping between folders and actual location. So we can do public. I don't remember perfectly what is the key and what is the value. But for example, if I do this, maybe it's this, maybe not. Who knows? I think it's like this. And then there is target. Go up to 12, to 13, sorry. And then there is blah, blah, blah. Okay, and this goes to, maybe I can directly point to the file, main.js. Or like this. This goes to root 2. This should work in theory. Actually it doesn't. Oh, Snowpack Scala.js, okay. Okay, it works. Hello. It works, nice. And until now, all done. We can do, for example, DOM. So we could do the DOM creation of DOM manually, but I like to use for Scala.js a library that I will show you, laminar.dev. It's a great library for Scala.js to write. It's like the counterpart of React, but in per Scala with different concepts. It does very, very good documentation. It has a video on YouTube that explains all the things that I suggest you to check out. And I think I will use this in this tutorial because we will not actually go deep inside the how you use laminar, but we can just use it for basic things like adding an element and stuff like that. So laminar, you add the dependency, and the last version should be 0.11.0, if I remember correctly. And then already recompiled, so it works. But what we do, we re-import the build, or import changes. Takes a while, sadly. But since I already know laminar, I can write something. So there is an import that works like 99% of the cases, which is called conraku.laminar. Yeah, it works. API.l._l uppercase. And with this, we import almost everything that is in laminar. And what we do is there is a render function that renders inside a container, which is a Scala.js DOM element, our laminar component, our component. The component is like an HTML component. For example, app equals to div, which is a div, an empty div, and we can say mount this app into this Scala.js DOM element, and we can say DOM document get element by ID, whatever app. Obviously, we have to create an element to get the element, so we do a div, and we do id equals to app here, and when we have this should actually import, but we're not doing anything, so we can't know. Let's put some string here. Hello. Maybe something is wrong. Yeah, it's working. Nice. Okay, so we have laminar. Now what we do is we go to chartJS again, and we copy paste this to canvas, whatever. Okay, let's create a comment thing here because we want to know what's going on. So this what it does. It's create a canvas, and then it gets the canvas, get context, and then it passes the context here. So what I can do is to create a canvas here, and I can do a laminar thingy, which is on mount callback, and this allows you to get the element when it's mounted. It has a context too, which is a different context from this context what we see here. And okay, so now we have this context. We can do context dot this node dot ref. And this is the exact element that we get here, and so we can do dot get context to d. Maybe obviously this is Scala, so to d. Okay, and then this is our maybe if we write knowledge context. Okay, and instead of is our context, and then we say okay, now we should start to use what we imported from Scalablytyped. And if we do import typings.chartJS, well, then mod, and here chart, for example, maybe like this. And so I can do new or chart dot. It's not that. Mod default, maybe. Maybe it's this. Actually, I don't know how to use it. I'm just learning that now. Okay, so defaults, blah blah blah. What it does is new chart. If I try to do new chart, what happens? Chart is abstract. Okay, you know this other chart. Maybe they remove this. It's abstract. Okay, so this is not the way how to create this in TypeScript actually. Let's see if there's another way. Chart dot. This doesn't exist. You have to go to the module to actually know what's going on. This is not. Let's see this object here. Chart. Oh, okay. We have already the chart. Strange. And then this is type of chart. Import chart.js. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. I don't know how to use it. Okay, this is a chart after you create it. Now, we want to actually create it. So how do you create a chart? This is an instance like. It should be something to create instances. Usually, maybe like this. Usually you use this object. And you do either this, treat as an apply or something. But it is not the case. So I think we should just, since it's a trait, we can do like this, and we create a chart. See? Non-native direct list. Chart. Cannot. Of course you can't. Because this is JS native. So what is this error saying? So when you have something that is JS native, this comes from JS, you can't create it. So there should be, for sure, a way to another way to create it. And usually there is a companion object with an apply, but there isn't. So what we do, we're stuck. So I actually didn't find yet a way to look into the generated files. I do this ACK here, Scalablytyped chart. Okay. Sorry for that. Maybe with IntelliJ or something else I could do it, but I don't know how. So what I do is the most tumbly way, I just unzip this folder and I open a code directory here and I search for what I need. The chart, def apply. You apply usually what it is. Okay, there you go. Okay. Ah, it's the other one. Okay, sorry guys, sorry everyone. It's anon, and then there is the apply. Then you do this, and it should work. Okay, we have a chart. Chart dot. Okay, now we can start adding things. Type bar dot type. Okay. The problem? Where? There you go. But maybe it's not the same type as I think it is. No, it isn't. Okay, apply, and it creates a chart. And then on the chart you can do dot chart. And then I think I will search again. We'll search again for type. Lowercase, single word. There you go. Var type, common X. No, that thing. Chart scales. I thought this library was easier to use actually. For other things. Data. Chart configuration. Hey, there you go. There you go. Chart configuration. And you should pass this when you create a chart, I guess. Yes. Oh, there you go. This creates a chart. Okay, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. New this. Or this dot. This is protected, so I can't. See if there is something not protected. Config. Apply. Oh, okay. Chart. It's a config. Okay, so what I need to do is to do chart. Chart.config. Yeah, new chart. Doesn't exist. Strange. Mod. Do again. Okay. Context? Okay. Don't ask me why it's called like this. But this is generated. Remember, this is generated. So TypeScript and Scala are different languages, so it's hard to have them work perfectly well in the same way. Like this is chart configuration. Okay. We can do a different value. Chart configuration. Well, chart configuration equals to dot data. So we can fix later. But we do chart configure.data equals to all this data here. We can convert this to Scala.js. Pretty easy. Okay. This is an object. Object. This is it's a new js.array. Or better. And these quotes are all double quotes. Whatever. Okay. Well, datasets goes new JS array again. In real life, you don't write arrays, objects like this. Obviously, you have classes that return things, or you have things in Scala that are then converted in JavaScript when you need them. This is just an example, so we can do it manually. I mean, you could do even JS. You could do a lot of things, but let's keep it simple like this. New JS.array. This is an array. Another one. Well, equals to new JS array. Okay, let's see what the compiler says. The compiler says that we don't want this, and we don't want this either, and we don't want this either. Okay, JS, we don't have JS, and JS is import scala.scalajs.js. Then new JS array cannot be because it's new. It's when you new. Probably it's like this. Yes. Oh. Maybe the object was correct. What int? What? Ah, yeah, because same thing here. Okay. So found this all whatever. When the chart. Oh. Okay. I thought an object would work, but actually it doesn't. Val equals to, and here data equals to chart data, and what it receives. And then you can say chart data. And this is a dynamic, so we could put whatever you want. No, it isn't. Duplicate, delete, blah 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 blah. You can do maybe chart data. Good question. I can. Labels. Chart data. So the way set labels. Okay. So there's like a builder interface and return self. So it's like a builder instead of doing what we are doing. The normal way you do this is to do like set labels, and then you pass labels. Then you do set datasets, and you pass out. Now it makes more sense actually. JS array. Think. How was it? JS array, JS object discloses here. So it should be like this. And this should enter here. And this should go here, like this. And then that's it. But it doesn't compile because it's a dataset, should be a dataset. And that should be like data sets, chart dataset, blah blah blah. Exists. Maybe it takes an array. It does. No, it doesn't. I'm just guessing, as you can see. Let's see. Chart datasets, and then there is for sure set, blah blah blah. Okay. So chart datasets. And then how can you set these things? Because it's an array. Add, maybe. No. Set. Okay. Apparently you can. Number of votes. This is a classic builder interface. Dot set data of this data. Set background color with this one. Actually, very nice. Set border color. This one. Set border width 1. 1, okay. Okay, seems nice. This is data. So what we do is now we use the .set data, use the same builder interface, now that we learned it. Chart data, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Maybe there's another one. Yes. Okay. So we have data, and there is something else. Remember correctly. Set data, set type. Set type. And then chart type dot, what was it? Var. Okay. Actually, it's very type safe. And then we have these options. We follow the same thing. Set options. Okay. Here we do set options. No. Doesn't exist. Oh, okay. Now it makes more sense. So we wanted we want a JS array here of this thing, because this is a single one, but we want an array of them, as it was in the original JavaScript example. Okay. Okay, chart options is okay. Chart options. As you can see, now that we got the we got how it works. Set scales. The Scalably typing way to do it is very nice. Then we do chart scales, apply, maybe import first, then apply, and then y-axis, set y-axis, and then we do the array, so JS array of, yeah, exactly. So JS dot array of what? Chart x ticks. Something broke here. Something broke here. Yeah, I have some parentheses that's missing. Exactly. This doesn't exist. What does this exist? This does exist, I know. It's here. Ax. See what class is it? If I import the mod here, I think it's better because I get everything. Okay. Maybe this doesn't have an apply. Very strange. And now we go back to our folder. Type. Oh, this is just a common X. Okay. Okay. Set ticks. Tick options. And then we see begin at 0. Set begin at 0. And then we say true. All type safe. I mean, all types at least. I don't know yet if it's safe or not. Multiple constructor for, so we have a row canvas element options. Set what we have here. This is a JS dynamic. Oh, this is bad. Maybe we can do it like this. No, we have to go to the ref. This return does a JS dynamic. We have to cast it, sadly, to a, I guess this one should make it. Okay, optimizing, perfect. So this thing, it should at least compiles. I don't know if it works, but it should compile. Compiled actually. And let's see. So now we have a next error, and now it's where we need to use Snowpack. So typing.chartJS.mod is import for a module, but this is not a module because we are not setting Scala.js to create a module yet. To create a module, we use a setting in Scala.js. So we put it, for example, here, and there is Scala.js linker config. Then there is this operator that says like this is the only config, this is the old one, and then you can apply some function to create a new one. So with module kind, and this is the kind of module the kind of module you want to use, and there are 3 types at the moment. One is no module, which is the default, so it's a script, normal script. And then there are common.js module, that is a Node.js module, which requires and things. And then there's S module, ES module, that is the ECMA script module with the import and exports. And this is exactly what the browser recognizes and uses. So what we are saying is that take the linker config setting and apply this function to create a new one. So it's like a function from linkers config to another linker config. And this function is take the old one and do with module kind, and this return a new one with this modified. Now we can see that Scala.js succeeded, and hopefully we will see an error because of course life is bad, life is sad and it doesn't work. But we can start to try to investigate why it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Why? Why? I think the problem could be here. Could be in this. What is it? This thing maybe doesn't exist. JS import. Now let's see how to import chartJS. Import chart from chartJS. This is exactly what we're doing. Chart, and then a new chart. And so we are importing namespace, which means import *as from, instead what we want is import default, I guess, which is import from star. I guess this is correct. In space. So this dot chart. So we have this, and then what we do. Actually, we are not using this. Oh, set con. Interesting. Set what? Set data set. It's different. See? Come on. Just want to go here, exactly. And this is set. This is so this is just a require. To require a library as a side effect is not what we want. One of these two should be. So we have a class and we have an object. We have a class and we have an object. So we want the class because we are saying import. What is it? What do we have here? Yeah, it's here. Import chart from, and then we say new chart context, whatever. I think it's correct. Interesting. Let's try again. Maybe start this. Unca. Okay, seems interesting. I don't know. Yeah, because I changed this. I think module is correct. And then this is correct too. This is the module itself. We are saying like this equals to, well, chart equals to this. And then I say new chart. It's exactly this. Or chart. Interesting. I don't know how to go to this. String or like canvas to look. This. Okay, this is what we do in TypeScript. No. Okay, declare module. Interesting. Oh, this package has been deprecated. Because I'm already using this. See if there is some explanation how to use it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. This is definitely type, so it should be a perfect match for Scalablytyped because Scalablytyped started as a way to use definitely type definitions. So if they work there, it should work too here. Yeah. Let's see if I'm missing something really basic. So when I create this chart, and then what we do with the chart? Context. And then message. Okay, and then chart. That's it. Interesting. Use it here, but I have two windows open for some reason. A new chart doesn't work because this doesn't exist. Import star. If I do this, what happens? Probably this is not correct. Let's search for something else. There's another way to create it. Nope. This doesn't work. this. Set chart. Dataset conf. Who knows? If I do the chart, maybe it's different. Maybe it is different. Dot chart. Let me try something. Of course, this should go out in a static place. And I can try to do new chart. Class. Chart configuration. Wow. Okay, so there was a little bug in Scalablytyped apparently, or in this. I don't know who is the cause of this, but we made it. Okay. So what we do is we do a new chart like this, and then we could do as instance of the actual charts we have here. And then we can do this as a method in our library, and the library, because we have object chart, def apply. Sorry for that. Instance of dynamic. Just dynamic, we use here. So this way we could have our code separated like this, and then we will say new chart. Chart. This chart configuration. Obviously, there's something wrong. Of course. No, this is not yet. Of course. Now we need this. Okay, it was tough. We don't need to do this cast since it's our class. We can do this. Okay, it was tough, but we made it. We're up here. The good part is that we have very fast. We can say like red, instead we say yellow, we save, and it's yellow. Hello. Okay, wow, what's tough? This was tough. We've done it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.